Hello out there. I am the Dance of Life Dancer, and I come to you to talk to you today not only about the St. Matthew's United Church of Christ, not only about the Garden Heights Baptist Church, but every place out there all across the land. It just doesn't happen at these two places. You've seen the videos out of what happened and everything, the discrimination. Most people I talk to, like myself, are afraid to step out and speak against discrimination. Speak against what has been done to them. They just step it aside, act as if, oh well, that's okay, that's the way it is. My friends, that's not the way it is. I know my Bible. I know a lot of different stuff that people doesn't understand. They sit up there and preach, you should love one another. Love thy neighbor as yourself. They stand up there and preach that you should care about one another. Shouldn't worry about all this little bitty stuff. Sound familiar to you? They sit there and preach, my friend, that Jesus loved each and every one of us. Let the little children come to me as they are. We, my friend, are supposed to be the little children, if you understand anything about that. I don't speak very much about that because I don't want to offend people. That's the reason I don't speak about stuff like that. My message is for everyone. And I'll tell you something. Not only the people at the St. Matthew's United Church of Christ, or the Garden Heights Baptist Church, or the grocery store, or the Hucks, or wherever you go to get where you get the discrimination. They put on a beautiful show at the United Church of Christ, St. Matthew's, but that's all it is. It's an empty show. They have no meaning. They don't understand the words of what they're talking about. It's a Hollywood show. They go through a lot of trouble to put on a beautiful show. But you know what? They don't need that show. They don't need that show in order to show somebody the meaning of Christmas, the meaning of Easter, the meaning of love, the meaning of loving one another. You ever been to the St. Matthew's United Church of Christ? Oh, they put on a Hollywood fantastic show there. But my friends, it's empty. And so is the rest of these places that put on all these fabulous shows. Do you know why it's empty? Because they don't know the meaning of what they're saying. They don't know the meaning of love thy neighbor as yourself. If they knew the meaning of this, now I've talked to 3 other people like myself. I went down to the church that evening, sat down there to listen to the music. Did nothing to hurt anybody. And they threw me out because of my gender issues, my friend, as you've seen on my 9 videos. And I've talked to 3 others that the same thing has happened. My friends out there, you tell me, is that the love of the Jesus they're talking about? Is that the love of the world? Discrimination, my friends? Most people, like myself, are afraid to step out. Now I'll say some famous words here from one of the most famous people in history, Martin Luther King Jr. He said it. I can say it just like he said it. Now, my friends, as Martin Luther King said, all of our blood is the same. Now, he's a great figure in history, my friends. He freed the black people. He got them equal to one another. It's time, my friends out there, it's time for discrimination, hatred to be put on a shelf, to end, especially in places that preach that the Word of God is love. Love thy neighbor as yourself. Love each and every one of you. There are words right on the wall, my friends. Right on the wall. I wish I'd have got a picture of it. Is every one of you is welcome here in this church. It didn't say each and you are welcome in this church unless this or that. It didn't say you're welcome here unless if you have gender issues, you're not welcome here. If you have a severe cerebral palsy disability, you're not welcome here. There's something wrong with this picture, isn't it? There's something wrong with this. They need to learn the meaning of the words that they preach in their Bible they're talking about. It talks about love, my friends. Not throwing somebody out of church, not calling the police, escorting them out of church because they're transgender. Where's the love in that, my friends? Each and every, as Martin Luther King himself said, each and every one of us, including me and the others out there that have been discriminated against this and are afraid to talk about it. Most people, and I know a lot of people like myself, are simply afraid to take that step outside of their little boxes for fear of being discriminated against, for fear of being hated, for fear of being laughed at, for fear of whatever reason. Their voice is never heard. You know what? I am their voice, my friends, because I am not afraid. I am not afraid to take that step out there to change what should be done, to change history, my friends, to change the way people think. It was done once before by Martin Luther King. And my friends, if this world is to survive, it needs to change again. Because, my friends, people like me and all the rest of the people out there that are different like me, whether they're gay, lesbian, African, Mexican, alien, no matter what they are, our blood is all the same. I have the same feelings that each and every one of you out there have. I just want to live each day. That's all. There's nothing more to this. There's nothing more to it to each and every one of the rest of the people out there. However, I'm ashamed of the St. Matthew's United Church of Christ and the Garden Heights Baptist Church of Christ and all the rest of the places that do this, especially a church. I put my hand on my head. They're the ones that preach love. They don't know the meaning of the word love, my friends. They don't know the meaning of the word care. Watch my videos. I got the preacher himself discriminating against me live as it happened that night. Is that love, my friends? You know what? I, as the Dance of Life dancer, has never done that and never will. On my floor where I dance, I don't care if you're dancing in a wheelchair. I don't care if you don't have no face, if you got two heads. I don't care who you are. You are welcome on my floor. I will never laugh at you. I will never discriminate against you. I will never treat you any differently than anybody else. That is the love that these preachers and all these people out there are supposed to have, but don't know the meaning of. I know the meaning of life, my friends. When I go out there and dance and do all of these moves, I never practice. A lot of people think I practice all this stuff. I do not practice it. I don't have to practice it. Because, my friends, what I do is not a show. A show is something you practice. A show, my friend, is something that the St. Matthew's United Methodist Church does. They practice this. They don't know the meaning of it. They don't know the meaning of Christmas and what it is. They don't know the meaning of Easter and what they're talking about in that Bible. Because if they did, they wouldn't have thrown me or the other three people out because of who we are. Just because of who I am, that's all. My friends out there, they got a lot to learn. But you know what? I forgive them. I forgive you, St. Matthew's United Church of Christ and Garden Heights Baptist Church. I forgive you. Because that's the kind of person I have turned out to be. I learned that, my friend. I wasn't always that way, but I learned it. I'm telling these other people out there, they better learn it, they better step out. And I'm calling you people out there that are watching this, that are afraid of who you are, afraid of to step out. I'm telling you, you're never going to change the society unless you join me and step out of your shell. Step out of your curtain. Step out of it into the society and tell them, no, it's wrong and you need to change this action. That's the only way it's going to get done, as Martin Luther King himself done. You're supposed to love one another, my friends. Shame on the United Methodist Church, because they preach love, but all it is a great big Hollywood show. They put a lot of effort into a show. They don't need that show. All they need is to show somebody that they love them. Not by calling the police and throwing somebody out of church because they're transgender. Is that love? Shame on you. From the Dance of Life, shame on you. From Jesus Christ, He told me Himself, shame on you, United Church of Methodist Church and Garden Heights, and whoever else out there might be doing this. Because you'll never find me doing it, my friend. I love each and every one of you out there. I don't practice the dance of life, what I do. I don't have to, because I know it. I know the meaning of life. I know the meaning of love. I will not discriminate against you. I care about you. But I asked you, as I close this message, to get out of your shell, to step up and join in on my cause. The dance of life. The cause for the dance of life is to put an end to discrimination and hate and war and all this terrible stuff that's happening, such as that happened at the St. Matthew's United Church of Christ. Was that love, my friends? They don't know the meaning of the word love. It's just another place like you go at the Two Hill or the Edison Theater. It's a show. They don't know the meaning of the words that they're talking about, my friends. In closing, I say I wish you a fantastic day, and I hope you out there join me in my cause. Don't be afraid of who you are. Step out there. Don't be scared to step out there and say who you are, because if you don't, this world will never change, my friend. Thank you, and good night.